Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Lucy, jina langu ni Lucy, and we are here to go through another Swahili lesson. Grab that piece of paper and pen and let's dive right in. Today's lesson is about Swahili verbs. Swahili has 3 types of verbs. We have verbs that stem from the Bantu language. These verbs have suffix a at the end, or at least the majority of them. And examples would be the verb to want, kutaka, or the verb to know, kujua, or the verb to like, kupenda. All these verbs end with suffix a, which tells us that they are verbs of Bantu origin. The second type is the non-Bantu verbs, and we can also call them verbs with an Arabic origin. These are verbs that end with suffix e, suffix e, and suffix u. Examples would be the word to forgive. To forgive is kusamehe. Kusamehe ends with suffix e at the end, he. We also have verb to travel, which is kusafiri. That ends with suffix e at the end. We also have another verb to respond, which is kujibu. Kujibu ends with suffix u. So all these 3 verbs are an indication they have an Arabic origin. The third type are the monosyllabic verbs. These are verbs with 1 syllable only in their imperative form. That is, if you remove the prefix ku that is always attached to every verb in Swahili, you are left with only 1 syllable. Examples would be the verb to eat, which is kula. Kula has the prefix ku, the usual prefix that gives us the whole infinitive form of the verb to eat. That is prefix ku and the monosyllable la. That is kula, to eat. Another example is to drink. To drink is kunywa. The obvious prefix ku and the 1 syllable nywa, kunywa. Verbs are doing words. And in Swahili, verbs are mostly accompanied by certain syllables to show the doer of the action, or the subject in this case. They are also accompanied by a certain syllable that shows when that action was taking place. That means it could be in the past, in the present, or in the future. These are also known as tenses. Let's look at an example. If we took the verb to do in Swahili is kufanya. To do in Swahili is kufanya in its infinitive form. To do, kufanya. If we remove the prefix ku, we are left with the imperative form of the verb, which is fanya. So we take that form of the verb, to do or fanya, and at the beginning of it, join 2 syllables. One is to show the doer, and the other one is to show the tense, or the time the action was taking place. So for instance, if I wanted to say I am doing, I would add a verb prefix or a syllable for I, which is ni, and then I would add another syllable that is na to show the present tense, that is nina, and then add the verb in its imperative form, fanya. So to read the whole sentence, it would be nina fanya, and you write it as one word. Nina fanya is I am doing. This verb prefix ni is like a pronoun because it is telling us the person or the doer of the action. Here are more examples of verb prefixes that you can use to form a sentence. If I wanted to say you are doing, I would use, instead of prefix ni, I would now change it to prefix u. I will keep the syllable na for the present tense and then add the verb fanya. So this would be unafanya. Unafanya. That is, you are doing. If I wanted to say he or she is doing, the u would change to a. That would be anafanya. Anafanya. If I wanted to say they are doing, that verb prefix would change to wa. Wanafanya. Wanafanya. If I wanted to say we are doing, the verb prefix changes to tu. Tunafanya. Tunafanya. We are doing. If I wanted to say you are doing, but in the plural form, I would say nafanya. I would change it to verb prefix just the letter m and the na and the fanya. Nafanya. Those are verb prefixes, or I also like to refer to them as pronouns because they basically describe the doer of the verb. Now let's do a recap of what we have learned. We have learned that we have 3 kinds of Swahili verbs. We have verbs with a Bantu origin and the end with prefix a. We have verbs of non-Bantu origin, or you could say they have an Arabic origin and they end with suffix e, e, and u. And we also have monosyllabic verbs which only have one syllable attached to prefix ku. And we have also learned to make a Swahili sentence, you have to join the doer of the verb or the doer of the action, the subject, the syllable that shows the time when the action is happening, or you might call it the tense, and the verb in its imperative form. And we saw in an example with the verb to do. To do is kufanya. We learned I could say I'm doing, ninafanya. He or she is doing, anafanya. We are doing, tunafanya. You in plural are doing, mnafanya. They are doing, wanafanya. And that's it for today's lesson. Thank you so much for staying till the end. Please subscribe and hit that notification button so that you get to see more of these Swahili lessons. Also, check in my description down below. There is a link to my Instagram page where we do more of these interactive learning sessions. Until next time, kwaheri.